Hey boys.
Hey, I was glitching earlier. Is it?
It's better
glitching?
now, Andy. So, I mean, it still looks like
Yeah.
it's
Eh,
having issues, but
it's a little glitch. It's glitchy.
There should be. It should be no glitches. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I could just imagine. I mean, from my end, I'm trying to troubleshoot it like I would troubleshoot something here, but I could just imagine what mess is going on over there. Like
It's cool.
like a tea kettle set on top of your router, and like, oh, you can't put water on top of it?
got my router right here plugged into my cords.
Oh, that looks
See,
good.
that's
Yeah.
above the board. Any electrician would say that's a safe setup. All right. Yes. So hopefully I don't fucking glitch. But if I do,
well, I mean, you already are.
It's just the way it
You
is.
already are.
Yeah.
It's very much it's sort of like
Witch hunt.
Max Headroom has a podcast.
We're back.
Hi Chad.
How's it going, guys?
Good. First of all, thank you, fellas, for
Chad.
reconnoitering your schedules to accommodate me. I forgot. I booked a beach vacation for me and the little lady, and then I was like, oh fuck, I'm supposed to do a podcast with my friends who I forgot about when I was booking this.
Yeah,
So
you had
I
no
appreciate
concern.
Ditches
that.
before ditches. Never mind. I'm glad I'm glitching a little.
If it keeps like this, we just it's not gonna work.
It's really fucking bad, huh? Let me fuck with it again.
No.
Well, I don't know. I mean, but
tell me what you're gonna do first.
It can't be worse.
Well, it's
Well,
the
yes, it
audio.
can always be
Unplug
worse.
some shit.
It's the audio that I'm more concerned about, honestly. If the audio is glitching out, then that's a problem.
Well, the audio is right here, and that shouldn't be fucking shit. All right.
Let's
So
just go for a while.
reboot?
We'll just see. No,
All
no,
right.
no. Let's just go for a
Hey,
bit. See how it rolls, baby.
all right.
Well, I can already tell his connection is unstable enough that it's throttled down the resolution. His screen, you can see his screen looks real fuzzy. So
Yeah,
but
it's
who
true.
knows?
It's all right.
It looks good from my vantage point.
Okay.
But I'm, looking in.
Are you
I'm
looking
just
into
looking
a
out the
mirror?
window and everything. Yeah, cool here.
Maybe
Little
somebody
cloud
else's podcast.
cover. So yeah, I can hear right. So, but if I'm fucking glitching shit,
So
this will
let's
be
start.
a good time for me to. This will be. I'll listen. This will be a good chance for me to listen finally. Now Erickson's.
I just
froze
wasn't
up.
moving. No, I wasn't.
Shit.
My camera.
Everybody's froze up.
I think that's your connection.
Oh man. What are you
This is why
drinking,
we need
Andy?
that extra. What's that? I'm drinking good old, and this was a last minute purchase, but I didn't go. I haven't slummed with no shit head sodas for a week. The last one I had was on the podcast. It's like the shit disgusts me, and then I see fucking people drinking it, and I'm like, ugh, what's wrong with you folks? So
what did you trade it for?
right now I'm
Blue Powerade.
I'm drinking a zero sugar. I mean, I don't believe it either, but a zero sugar Gatorade. But it's the only non-water and non-coffee beverage I've had this week.
Good
I'm
for
just
you.
not drinking anything but fucking water. The Saudi Arabia owns a good portion of it, so we might as well enjoy it while it's still, free.
Wait, what are you saying?
The Saudi Arabians have bought water rights in places, or they're buying up. They're trying to. I don't want to get political, but you guys are in Arizona.
I read that too, Andy. But you got to read past the headline.
They
didn't buy the water. They did buy the water, but they're using the water to irrigate land in the desert that they're growing hay and alfalfa for their dairy and their
Right.
cattle
And
farm.
fuck them, because those horses are assholes too. And that's just one article.
Horses on a dairy farm.
Horses. Yeah,
That's what,
cattle.
yeah,
You know,
that's
they're
what
gonna
they're
start
doing there.
A
They're doing,
huge venture in milking horses in the
Yeah.
desert, where they're going to grow their own hay with our
Milking
water.
horses.
if they're
You ever see
jerking
those
off
cattle
horses,
drives on the dairy farms?
Yeah.
They're riding them horses, rounding them up.
if they're jacking off horses, that's different. But if they're just using water for that, anyway, that's not their only venture into shit, water and especially. But you know,
So even though the Saudi Arabians and their blood money is just directly associated with this water stuff, you're willing to dive right in and start enjoying it on a daily. I'm proud of you.
yeah, and you know,
It's
working
good,
out,
right?
I guess.
you
I mean,
feel?
I crave sugar. I'm a fucking, you know, like you see people who, you know, well, I wonder what they're fucking on or whatever, shaky in the morning or whatever. I think I'm, you know, I've just had years of abusing sugar without even really thinking about it. And
I mean, who hasn't?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
all
mean,
of
we
it.
grew up that way.
Mm-hmm. But I, you know, like I slum it, you know, I go chocolate bar here and there. Like, you know,
How
shit
is that slumming it? I think
it's-
going into a diner and asking to use the restroom and grabbing a box of Domino packets would be slumming it.
well, that's true. that's a lower, I like.
You're
to,
just
you
a consumer when you're
he's
buying
not
a
there
candy
yet.
bar.
I'm not. Yeah, I haven't gone. I have never like taken it. I mean, I'm sure I soak it in on a few other things, but I've never taken it out of my diet for any length of time. So I'm just, you know, gonna see if I can get more fucking gaunt.
If just eliminating sugary drinks from your diet
Mhm.
completely will be a big help.
Yeah,
That's a huge change. If you drink soda regularly and you stop, that's a good
I
thing.
found myself. I was in the car, and I left the house, and it's like, where am I going again? And then wait, I think I went to go get a soda, so I went and got dog food, just to, you know, so it wasn't a wasted trip or whatever. But I think I just like subconsciously was still, you know, I'm gonna head out, and you know, but I didn't really have a reason to be anywhere. So I was just out getting a soda like an asshole. And I stopped myself and said, God damn it, this is not how, you know, you have to live anymore.
I mean, in your day to day, don't you have anything else you can get besides making up dog food or something? I mean, you can go to the store for something other than soda.
Oh yeah, no, but that's what I mean. I left the house and then I was thinking, where am I going? You know, like, oh, you know, we go into a room and I'm like, I think I was going to, you know, I was just directly headed to McDonald's, like some sort of a fucking autopilot.
Boy, marketing works.
I know. And then I wait. No, their sodas are not $1 anymore, and you don't drink that shit. And oh, look at that hefty bag with a soda. I'll bet that's a diet one, or you know. I try to use hefty bag. I don't want to discourage people who are trying to lose weight, so I'm disparaging hefty bags.
I also love that you're one of those people who's like someone who quits smoking and within the first week is just, you know, rabid. It was the fact that it stinks and you're smelling, you're smoking in here, and my jacket smells.
I can't be around that smell anymore.
Disgusting.
Are you drinking a Dr. Pepper? Could you please take it outside?
25 feet from the door, sir.
Yeah, you know what they put in that shit? Do you know that guy had 2 women die on his table because he wouldn't do an abortion?
Was the second woman a baby?
He killed 2 or twins, Siamese twins having babies at the same fucking time. It's unbelievable. Somebody posted a Siamese twin picture today. You see that?
Conjoined twins?
Or conjoined,
picture?
yeah. What
Siamese
is that? Is an old slur? You can't call them. Oh wait, they're not Siamese. What are Siamese twins then?
Conjoined.
It's a term from the turn of the century.
Well, it's kind of like Kleenex and Xerox, I think.
Yeah.
Are they
organic? No, those were actually the names of the first 2 Siamese twins, Kleenex and Xerox. They were from Siam, and they would wear that suit, and they're in all those old pictures.
Bunch of
It's been a fun episode so far, you guys.
This is like when we should ask for hey man, if you can help support our podcast, get on the Patreon. Because we do it at the end, and then it's like sometimes people go in and eat a bunch of buffet, and then they'll take off before the bill drops. I think that's what happens. We go at the end of our episode.
Oh.
People are like, "Oh, I'm full," and it's like when the collection plate comes out at church or whatever. It's like some people got to go to the bathroom right before it comes around.
You don't want to get in the parking lot when everybody's leaving, man.
You got to get out of there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, there you go. That's it.
So what was the picture today?
It was just I got on the somebody, one of our followers reposted it, but there was I'm on the same site where it's just tragedies or weird shit. So like a woman who jumped off of a building and landed on a limousine, and a little story about that or whatever. It's just kind of, I feel like I'm in a good place for that again. Like I was just like mired in my own bullshit, and I couldn't step away from it to go, oh man, molasses stuck them in place or whatever, So I've been kind of, I'm diving back into other people's tragedies for my enjoyment.
Well, that's great news.
Preferably, if there are ways back, you can just die. You don't have to go, well, my heart goes out to them or whatever. And my heart wasn't even around then. Fuck it, it's fucking interesting.
Well, you said Conjoined Twins, so I had to look it up, and I don't think I found the thing that you were looking for.
Yeah, Siamese.
But I did find this, which is pretty outrageous.
Yeah, to me,
how does that even work?
Like,
oh no,
one of them has to cough up a shit. It looks like.
Yeah, they got to talk about all that shit. Like we're having a body meeting.
Is it Tuesday again? Oh no.
We're having a body meeting.
We've been having some trouble shitting lately, and I think I've figured out why.
Chad, you bring up a good point, but I think what it is it's set up to where you're getting this is the glamour side. I think if you had them spin around 180 degrees, we'd see kind of where the rubber meets the road, so to speak.
I bet they could crawl like a bastard.
Yeah.
You guys, hey, I left some treats for you in the car, and they probably just walk that bitch.
Holy fuck. What if you were walking down the street and those two kids came at you? Holy shit.
I would, I'd be all right with it. I
would scare
there's
the fuck
a little
out of
feller. What's that?
It would scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
American Horror Story scoop those guys up, right?
Yeah, right.
Already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hate to be insensitive, and I'm sorry.
That's what I would
tragic way to live, but if you didn't know they lived in that neighborhood and you were just, out there, selling fucking Girl Scout cookies.
I was gonna say they're almost.
I don't think this kind of busker needs to have anything to sell. I think just the spider image is
but
enough.
they could do that.
If those kids came at me, I would throw my wallet at them and run the other way.
Those kids can wash the fuck out of your window, I bet.
Give them a 20 to promise not to haunt you and follow you home.
I was going to say they're almost unmolestable, but that is not taken into credit. People are fucked up.
It's a fucked up world,
I mean,
man.
so it'd be like, they wouldn't even maybe like go after kids, but that would be their thing.
What?
Well, just that there's two of them that are all stuck together, and it's about power.
Andy, one of them didn't sit in glue. They're not stuck together.
It's about power. I mean, for those people,
power.
Not, controlling. That would be their thing. I don't know. I mean, I hope they are happy. Well, it would just. I would be like. I can't imagine my brother Jeff. Like that's my brother Jeff's right there in my fucking face all the time, and he can't. It's not Atlanta. It's Atlanta. You know, we'd have fucking in each other's faces all the time.
Wait a minute. Did he correct you on the way you said Atlanta?
I say Atlanta, he says Antlanta, and he
Oh,
says Japan. Like, I mean, those were just a couple of things. I couldn't really listen to him because he'd smack his food, and that was enough for me. I'd just fucking leave. But he's like me and my mother. He'd say shit stupid.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when anytime Siamese twins comes up, I immediately think of the picture of those two chaps from the Guinness Book of World Records.
Xerox and Clorox. What was it? Xerox and Kleenex.
That's see, that could get that's kind of like
Kleenex.
That's just like cocksmanship there. You're like, you know, you got a bro, you got a wingman.
Yeah.
You got a wingman there, but if
You
you're
literally have a
two dudes from the
wingman.
Jersey Shore.
That is literally a wingman.
torso to torso, face to face, that'd be it. You know, I don't know what you're gonna do, but I'm shooting myself in the face.
Didn't we talk about these when we talked about those country gals and like they're these guys are attached with like a skin tag or something?
Yeah, you could get them apart. You could get them apart today, but you know, in the 1800s.
What do I got to do to get you guys in your own pair of pants today?
Well, I mean, these guys have their own pair of pants. I mean, look, compared to the other little guys, I mean, really.
Oh, that's terrible.
It is really just night and day. These guys made a ton of dough in the sideshow.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they had a regular life of sideshow entertainer.
Yeah, what kind of life is show business though?
Well, back then there was a life.
I know.
But back then there was a life.
I thought you were going to call and get some gigs lined up there. I knew you weren't going to do it. I watched you the whole time.
God damn it, Kleenex.
But it's I wish that happened more. I mean, there's all these like
what?
Well, I think there's a lot of like Christianity that wants to overbreed, and they like, oh, this is, you know, I've been watching the Duggars, and they got like 3 sets of twins, and they just keep
Duggars.
I watched that one too. Whenever you texted it,
offensive littering. I couldn't get on episode 3. Freebie has a limit, but I watched the first 2. But it's like, you know, they take they're not opposed to taking fertility drugs to keep the fucking momentum going.
Yeah,
it'd just be nice to see that they're like, this is Megan and Aubrey, and this is 2 kids here. They're all lumped into one because we've had so many kids, and we just fucking, you know, I would like any wound.
They started backing up in the womb, like a line formed.
Yeah,
kind of. Like they were all trying to get out of the fucking fire at the Great White concert. And then when they finally came out, they were all stuck together.
Where a plug finally came loose.
I mean, that I can't imagine something more. I mean, you know, they're all individual people and whatever, but their parents should be fucking fined for that kind of offensive.
Oh, without a doubt. They're disgusting people. Now, if you're saying I wish that shit happened more often, and then you're selecting the shitty people that it's happening to, then yes,
picture them with a couple of heads stuck together, and that's what, you know, I wish nature would do more of.
I'll tell you right now, I watched the whole series. They would love it. That would be profit.
Couldn't give enough love.
We're just praying so much for Megan and Destiny to get there.
One of the least disgusting things that family did was sign contracts for all of those kids as they became adults and kept them on the show, and then kept them going in their own shows. Never paid them a fucking dime. Not one of those kids ever got compensated for doing any of that bullshit. Even after they became adults and had to do their own spin-off shows.
Yeah, really? Wow.
Never got a fucking dime for any of it. The girls giving fucking the birth to their own kids didn't get paid.
So the parents just kept all the money?
Yes, the dad.
Good. Yeah, they gotta fucking buy groceries.
Yeah, but you know, I doubt they roll out their groceries like they do on the show or whatever. You know, it's like all the, you know, I'm sure they
No, the one family, the daughter, after she was married off with her own family doing spin-off shows, still wasn't getting paid. They said that, yeah, we're having to go to food banks and get food while our dad's a fucking millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now I'm kind of interested.
Yeah, they're
Love thy neighbor.
Yeah, I didn't know. I knew. I mean, I knew that was a name that was in the news or whatever, but I didn't really. I thought the dad was the one who was molesting the kids, but it turns out
it was like the oldest son.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, and
the dad covered it up. I didn't know anything about it until you recommended it, and it was pretty interesting.
So, what's the name of the show?
Shiny Happy People.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure REM is thrilled about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you in court, Duggars.
Well,
the Duggars didn't make this thing.
No, it's funny that there's a few Duggars. Was there only one or two in the documentary or that thing, Chad?
It was mostly about this family, but the larger part was about the religious organization that he followed. The I bet that IBL. I don't remember. It
had a couple of different names.
Yeah,
I'm guessing it's an offshoot of what I was.
Oh, I thought this was a documentary that the Duggars were all behind. Oh, I watched this.
Oh no.
Yeah,
this is there's.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've just seen enough tweets about episode 3 that I'm guessing the family's not behind it.
So I think, well, I don't know if the oldest though, one of the daughters who was prominent in the documentary is really in this, spilling all the beans, telling all the fucking family secrets and shit.
Nice. Yeah. Well, that's the problem. You can't have 42 people in your family and keep them all in the fucking tent.
Well, they kind of do, though.
Someone's going to be pissed off. Yeah, but it only takes one to fucking do the documentary. And
but they got through a lot of years.
I mean, we couldn't go to church 1 week in a row without one of our 4 kids having a fucking conniption before we got in the fucking station wagon, or when it came down to ice cream after, or
it discusses that as well, about how all the abuse behind the scenes that goes into that. It's like, no, those are not well-behaved people. Those are abused fucking children.
That's where my family, I was because they sent me off to get molested. I come back with an attitude, and because I had an attitude,
I think that's called swagger.
Yeah, swag. I know I got swag. I brought back gifts, but oh shit. But that's where my family, because I was involved in a situation where a friend ran into a ditch, or what. It wasn't even, I was just in the car drunk and whatever. But my brother John was having secret behind the back dealings with my mom and dad, and they had brochures on a couple of religious schools, and they were going to pull me out like my junior year, because my mom started to be suspicious. I didn't have stomach ailments when I vomit in my bed all the time, or I get a 6-pack and I would pound them, before going to bed, and sometimes you wake up and vomit because you didn't digest it properly.
So basically, your mom was 100% right. You should have been going to fucking religious school.
Well, yeah, but her church was weak ass. Like I would, if they were trying to drag me to church, I could lock up, like, Satan lock, and you're not getting me into the church. I would not,
Wait, what's a Satan lock?
Well, you just fuck. Well, I mean, if you're trying to drag somebody into church, it's just any kind of a resistance that you put to their plan. It's the opposite of what they're trying to do, and it's
the opposite of getting a heckler out of a comedy show.
I said
it doesn't want to leave.
I told my mom,
get a heckler in.
At some point, I'd sit in the car a lot too. But she would go, and then I would have something going on, and I'd be upset. Don't you listen to me? I'm telling you, I got raped or whatever. And they go, oh, we'll come out and check you later or whatever. And I'd stay in the car, and then I would go and snoop around in the basement of the church or whatever. If there's a potluck, I would, the Rosenaggles had Jello squares that I wish
Knox blocks.
I wish I could go back in time, because I would put some LSD in those Jello fucking cubes and dose that church and see what happens. Man.
So Andy, you'd put up a fight, and they would say,
I mean,
"Can you just stay in the
towards
car?"
the end of my days there, and then it started. Well, I needed more than that church could give me, so they started shifting me around. And my brothers were Jeff and John were both evangelicals, so I got shipped to that movement. And now it's kind of the predecessor of that religion, that controlling. My brother used to walk around with a wooden spoon in his back pocket just in case his kid got out of line.
What?
And his kid didn't get out of line much, but it's just like, oh, we'll swat him as soon as the bad behavior or whatever. But it's just,
Jesus, that's fucked up.
yeah.
Dude.
And if I would have gotten sucked into that, but my family wouldn't. My dad wasn't I don't know what he was, but he wasn't
Into it.
Foursquare. He read the Bible and he wrote his own proverbs. So I don't know.
Well, I respect that because
Larry,
most of the Bible is fucking gobbledygook anyway. So I feel like you could read that and be like, you know what? I could write a Bible.
Yeah, he wrote proverbs, and a lot of them had to do specifically with Larry. He I don't know. I try to find them. I used to have some of the love letters that went back and forth between one of my bros in prison and his whole whore at the time.
Yeah, you talked
and
about
I
that. I'd love to hear some of your dad's.
Yeah, I know they had to do it. He felt like people were stealing from him, I think was the gist of his whole fucking, I'm going to give writing the Bible a try. That it was all.
Well, your dad's proverbs were all about.
I think a lot of them were but I think he was basically writing about the loss of control he had over everything that was going on there.
I mean, think about it. You write about what you know.
Yeah,
so
he was
if
overrun.
He's got problems with Larry, then
Larry.
It's going to show
not
up.
only you have problems with him, he's fucking camped out where he can't even get up there and slug him once. You're not going to go do it for you, Dad. Get him down, and I'll try to hold on to a leg or something. But I think so. He's frustrated, so he'd take out the pen and write a couple of Larry should get his shit together proverbs, or people stealing, be careful of the thief you let live within, and kind of shit.
Yeah, a lot of deep thoughts.
And Larry was just kind of he was in the acquiring business. If something you had met his specs, he would probably take it. I was way under him on everything, so there was really nothing of mine besides if I had candy bars I'm sitting around, he would take.
Maybe that's where your sugar addiction comes from, and your need to have chocolate candy.
Yeah, you had to gobble it up so quick so no one else could grab it.
Yeah, Larry kept stealing your candy bars, and now you're just like, every time.
Well, with those, I know this that they did is we'd get one of my relatives, probably Uncle Bill, my only real good relative. Uncle Earl was entertaining, but Uncle Bill would send gifts, and we'd get 50 whatever those boxes of chocolate. And I wouldn't even know that we had a box.
Like a C's candy, like a box.
Yeah, like a
it
big,
has like a gold ribbon on it. You open it up.
Yeah, like Uncle Bill's getting a family a gift, and I would get to it days after it had been. And they were like fucking little, you could probably match
bites taken out of them.
Yeah, bites, and sometimes the bite taken out and repaired. So you can tell Larry, finish your fucking strawberry nougat, faggot, or whatever. But Larry's, teeth. I think all of us had, teeth.
You can see Larry's crooked teeth marks in the.
That was. I think my brother John nervously jammed his teeth back together, but I think every one of us had awkward teeth.
Yeah.
And David's, gap. Larry's were fucking gap. Mine are gapped. John was a nervous kid, and he kept he do this shit all the time. What are you doing, John? He's like, he knew we weren't getting orthodontics anytime around there. So
what was he doing this for?
He was just pressuring his teeth, and he kind of over the course of time, I'd say he's.
Damn, you guys were wound tight. You guys were wound fucking tight around that house.
Jeez. It was like a prison.
Holy shit.
It was, in the best of times, it was, I don't remember those, but, grandma and when Larry moved in a second or third time, and, there was I remember when everybody, I had a dream and that Larry he was like the last one. He was still there, I think. And then he I guess he might, I don't know, maybe he told me, but I had a vivid dream that he was leaving, and he did leave. I was like, holy shit, man, this is awesome. I dreamed it and it came true, but Larry left. And then, but it's like we had a big house, and then people come back.
They always come back. Well, it's like prison. They always
yeah. I had
recidivism is high in the end.
Recidivism. I was trying to think of that word, Chad. Well done.
Who's been reading a little more, huh? Not me.
I have been. I finished that fucking Stephen Hawking book, dude. I'm still.
Oh man, that guy
still doesn't really work.
He doesn't even write it out himself.
Yeah, he doesn't. He blinks it. Blinked by Stephen Hawking.
Well, it's amazing. Well, I mean, besides all the other shit he did, the guy still gets pussy.
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Yeah, but back in the day, where
he did all right for a dude who really could do nothing. I mean, he really lived a life.
Well, he had an active mouth. I mean, like he was always slicked up there, so I imagine that was his go-to. I mean, it had to be his go-to. You don't write all that intelligent shit unless you're eating some pussy. You got no incentive.
Right.
Show off your brain.
How did he talk anyway? I mean, I know he used
he talked through a thing eventually.
But what was he?
Yeah.
Was he typing it in, or was he using his eyes to?
No. Well, at first he had a clicker. He would just hold a clicker.
Yeah.
And it was attached to some sort of keyboard he was looking at, where he would click the words. And he didn't have to type them out. He had like that predictive text.
Yeah.
So he could do sentences. He just got really good at it. And then it went to like a sensor in his eye, that he could look at the.
So he'd move his eye along like a chart.
Yeah. And eventually it got to the point where it was he couldn't move anything. It was a muscle like in his cheek.
Yeah.
He could still kind of. He was in a prison, I mean, none of his muscles.
Oh man, yeah.
They're atrophied to the point, and ALS is just so his cheek, he could make it flicker, and he could move that through the predictive text and the spelling out things if he needed to spell them out. The dude who worked with him and wrote this book said by the end, it was sometimes, a couple of minutes per word.
Huh.
So it got.
Can you imagine writing a book like that? I get on my Netflix and I have to re-input my fucking email with a fucking remote, and I want to fucking destroy the fucking TV.
Yeah, you're gonna sit down and watch this movie you've been waiting to watch. You're excited to see it, and for some reason the app has to be re-downloaded, and you're like, well, fuck it, I'm not watching
that.
Not watching it. Back to the Duggars.
So he would do a whole fucking book, but he would.
Well, the last book, this book that I just read was actually written by Thomas Hertog, who is also a cosmologist, astrophysicist, whatever you want to call him, and his like working partner for the last 25 years. And he wrote it. But they would work together. They came up with these theories about the origin of time in the universe. It's a trip, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It's like, it's one of those things where when you're reading it, it sort of makes sense. But if you try to explain it to anybody, you sound like a fucking moron. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, maybe I don't understand.
I don't understand.
I don't think I got it. I'm gonna have to go back and read that again. I know. I know that's not what he said. That's not what he said. What I said, that's not what he said. But it's really interesting. The upshot is, just so you guys know, spoiler alert, we're living in a hologram. So, all bets are off. Do what you want.
Wouldn't it be like a different? Well, it'd obviously be a different world if everybody had maybe not the same level of intelligence, but in the ballpark. that we could all be equal-ish and understanding or whatever. But it's like, that's like, there's way more retarded people than there are people smart like that.
Yeah. Remember the old Carlin joke? Think about how dumb the average person is. And then think about the fact that half the people are dumber than that.
Yeah, it's
The thing that always made me laugh about Stephen Hawking is that he had none of us remember his voice, right? It's always been the computer voice.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's from England, but his computer voice did not have an English accent. Like it should have, right? If they're gonna
the robot accent,
like if they do, when they do that now for people, and they can make it sound much more realistic.
He
and
just
there's
did the
dialects
Succession
to it,
thing, where he was an English actor
doing an American voice.
American
Andy.
voice. It's pretty common now, but Hawking was ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Why would you want to sound English if you could avoid it?
Well, maybe that's it. I don't know. It's just it.
Well, if you want to sell some doodad on as seen on TV, you definitely want to be British.
It would have been funny if he would have said "governor" at the end of everything in his computer voice.
That's wrong, governor.
And the world did start with a big bang, governor.
Why didn't he just hire Morgan Freeman to be his
Sounded
voice?
more like Boston.
Or like Morgan Freeman would be. You could hire anybody to do your voices, and he was ahead.
I don't know that it works exactly like that. Like you don't have Morgan Freeman with you. You're not going to type it. He's not going to read what you're saying.
He's like
Morgan Freeman is a celebrity anyway. I mean, you can't have another celebrity using another celebrity's voice.
Yeah. Remember, what was that movie about that guy?
The Theory of Everything.
Okay, yeah. Where he was still like an upright. He started getting the disease and all that.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Well, it'd explain all that stuff you're reading about.
Uh-huh.
No, it's more of a romance, but I think they kind of dabble with a little bit of the science as a side note on.
Not too much. A lot of dumb people.
Yeah. That's what I feel. I associate with the dumb, but I also, if I hang out with the dumb, then I can be, they go, really? That's interesting.
A king.
Yeah.
It could be a little bit of a, but if I hang out with smart people, I can't. I got nothing to add.
In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
That's right. I'm the one-eyed man. But I can hang with smart people. It's just, you realize it's just like if you're around that level of science and shit, it's like, fucking nothing to add to this.
No, I think for me, it's like there's, I understand what you're saying. And I used to think I was smart, but now as I've gotten older, I realized that was just my parents trying to be really good parents and encouraging me and telling me I was smart. They told me I was smart for so long, I believed it. And then I thought I was smart and I just failed at life because I thought I was smarter than I was. And now that I'm old, I realize, oh, I'm actually not that smart. I'm just like, see right in the fucking middle, dead middle. And I'm much happier.
For everybody is.
But there's people who are smarter than me that I don't like hanging out with because they're pretentious about it. But when you go to the super smart people like Stephen Hawking, now it's interesting again to me, like, oh, I'll just sit and listen to them talk. Now I know I don't have to say anything,
I think I would try to listen to Hawking talk, but after a while I'd go, God damn it, I can't make this. Why doesn't he put a fucking Morgan Freeman voice on?
How smart is this guy?
Yeah.
I bet if Morgan Freeman explained all that shit, we'd understand it better.
I guess maybe.
I haven't seen Morgan in a while.
Audio, maybe he could do the audio book.
Yeah, he's not as he's one of those guys I think of as much younger than he probably is right now. He has.
He had a little Me Too situation.
Yeah, he had a little trouble keeping the car on the
definitely
road.
Old looking now.
Yeah, you run a car into the ditch with your whore, I think there was something like that. Like he got in a car accident, and then he's like, it was married, and anyway, good on him, you know. But yeah, that's you don't need that kind of shit right now.
Was she blowing him? Was it a roadhead
I hope I
situation?
would, you know. If I was riding with Morgan Freeman, I might be tempted to just talk, man. No, I don't know.
Morgan Freeman.
No, I doubt. I mean, he one.
You just keep going, bro. I'm gonna.
No, I don't. I don't have a taste for that particular thing anyway. But I think that now he's an older man.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, and it wouldn't be like it's. If I would think that if you gave a blowjob, you'd want somebody to just blast one in your face. No, fuck yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be fucking working with a dead fish for
right,
50
right.
miles.
You know, you're doing great. You know, all right, you know, can you but yeah, thankless task of, you know, and some, you know, some people still do it for nostalgia or whatever. You go, suck it. Well, I think, you know, if I were doing it, I would want it to be over quick. But I'm not you know, I'm not I'm not a sandwich artist or whatever. And I appreciate the one.
You're not a connoisseur.
I've seen it done well, and I've seen it done poorly. I haven't seen it done poorly that often because I got rid of that activity.
Because you closed your eyes?
Yeah. No, but I mean, you know, occasionally in life you run into a magician. Like, you know, sleight of hand. And it's like you know, like when Warren Zevon said enjoy every sandwich, I think he was talking about, you know, getting his dick sucked now and then.
The old Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, because he was didn't he have I think he had stomach cancer, so he's probably not eating a lot.
Sometimes a sandwich is just a sandwich, Andy.
Yeah, but not always. Not in Texas. Sometimes you order a Paris, Texas sandwich just because you think it sounds cool, and that's really what you wanted. I did
breakfast sandwich. Your omelet.
Yeah,
that croissant.
Omelet, croissant. Yeah.
Croissant would have saved the situation.
It would not have helped.
You can't go back, and all I can do going forward is learn from, take this, a little bit of this experience and move forward. And next time I get a thing, I'm gonna use a knife and fork on that fucking thing. Eat it like eat it like
By
that.
Jove, I think he's got it.
Mm-hmm. I eat it at home that way, and it, you know, it's like, you know, it's like.
It's the opposite of the way you're supposed to do it. You know, you're supposed to eat.
I drank that champagne in the Unbookables van. I didn't mean to have it shoot up my nose. That's why I'm not eating much either. So, you know, water and then one meal a day. It's my thing. I'm going to try to phase out food and then beverage. Not necessarily beverage, but I'm on a just, I don't want to fucking be bothered with it diet. That's like that means. If I got something to eat in the morning, I'll eat it. And I don't talk to anybody about eating till dinner.
As you get older, you don't need as much food anyway. I mean, that's not.
Yeah, I can maintain fat. I can be fat and not eat for a week and not lose any weight.
You're saying you can fast for a week and not lose any weight?
Pretty much. I mean, and exercise too. I might have, but I read this weird, was a dude who had a bloated belly, like a Bert Kreischer belly, that it was painful, not just to watch, you know, it's actually painful. And he had his fucking twin brother developing in his belly.
What?
Yeah. Was I should read them all the way through. I can't even tell you. It's like fascinating horror.
Why would you not want to finish this story?
Yeah,
I'm sure it turned out okay for everyone. I'm just
that's good enough.
I had to. I don't trust the news source, but I had to stop and start the news story about the UFO whistleblower. I was like, he's talking about an alien invasion, and I'm like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right, I was listening to that, and I turn it back on and listen to it again. But it's like, you know, it takes a lot to you know, our attention, well, at least my attention, you know, I could, no matter what's going on, you know, some stupid fucking like a one-man band guy banging drums in his knees and that, you know, like what the fuck, and then I would walk out and go, you know, it's just whatever's the stupidest shit is probably what draws my attention for the longest.
We only got part of that, but
I mean live. Oh, okay.
we get it. So yeah, so that's a big story this week. There's a
I don't know
confirmed
anything about it.
aliens. The United States government has alien aircraft and alien bodies, and they've been covering it up. And this guy is a whistleblower, so I mean, it's got to be true. He has no evidence at all, but he did work in the government, so.
And and it was also being broken by like Newsmax, or you know, it's like one of those, you know, it's like anybody can make theirs. Well, I can't, but I mean, a lot of people can make their setup look official, like it's a newsroom, or whatever. And that's sort of what it felt like. That's I guess why I lost. I mean, I would love to hear that they're, you know, aliens, and they, you know, they're set to fucking, you know, like we've been sold out to the aliens by the government or whatever, and now we're going to be fucking, you know, chilling with the different breeds, some new species. That's what
District 9 type shit.
Yeah, I'd like to have some new species. I mean, you know, we got everybody's got machine guns, so it's not like lizard people are going to fucking gain an advantage on us.
They might get a couple of states.
That'll be the one time where everybody with machine guns is going to look like, okay, that's, you know, but maybe you know, I'd like to think that the aliens are like not male or female. It's just like just a couple of vaginas on them, 4 or 5 assholes,
or like David Bowie.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, just blow it out of the water so everybody can just, you know.
Maybe we've already seen it. We had the picture of those 2 kids up that were conjoined. I mean, that might be something like that. You know, 2 heads better than 1 kind of deal.
They're already here, guys.
They're already here, man.
Well, those guys could do maybe a thing where they did a acrobatic act. You know, if they like people do flip overs and stuff, if they could get.
No, they should do a comedy act where they slap each other in the face. That would be funny.
Because they'd have to lean over far enough to like balance
and not fall over.
They'd have to really get back. Yeah.
They could do all of Jeff Dunham's shit. You just alternate. Who do you feel like doing the talking today?
Yeah.
That's how I'd do it, maybe.
Yeah, if it was a slap fight, the one guy couldn't defend because they'd just roll over.
Well, but you got so much incentive not to punch. You know, that's like the
they move.
You know, never punch somebody who's going to be in your face first thing in the morning, and it's
so if you guys take
a look. There's a foot right here.
There's a foot in the middle.
There.
Oh, really?
So there's 4 arms and a foot, which it would be definitely the name of their podcast.
Well, look, and then right here, look at right there. That's a knee.
There's a leg going out back. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That thing's a spider.
I would love to hear their podcast if they respond to this. And we deserve it. We deserve every ignorant fucking tongue beating you could give us, you know.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
To me, that experience seems like, you know, that's a tough thing. And they, you know, they're like people. Well, no, climbing Mount Everest ain't shit anymore. But I mean, the people who do really impressive things, just being and dealing with that, to me is like, you know. But
you're 100% right. Getting through a day like with that hand dealt to you is 1,000.
Imagine the nightmare during COVID.
Scaling up Kilimanjaro while the fucking Sherpa carries all your fucking gear.
Spell recidivism with a twitch of your cheek. You're crazy.
Oh, that'd be a murder-suicide situation for me.
Imagine and then you forget the I before E except after C is
backspace.
If they went through the COVID era, that would be a nightmare. Like wash your hands, stay 6 feet away, mask up. You know, they could mask up, but I think all that other shit, they'd just be constantly, you know.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
Yeah. I guess gloves. Or just get the shit. It wasn't real anyway. It was a fucking hoax.
The UFO thing?
Yeah, all of it.
Oh man.
No, I wish that. I mean, I
the like hologram we're living in?
UFOs.
That's true.
UFOs to me, I really, I mean, I like the idea of humans just being kind of shown the door and I know I'm one of them or whatever, mostly. And I would, I would be of no use to them, but I would be like, I would sit back and go, this is fucking great, more so than just, some climate disaster or something. Just, we're just getting fucking harvested for our shit and thrown into a pile. Chad's down with it, right? You wouldn't be opposed to fucking you wouldn't want like a fucking small alien coming up. You'd kick the shit out of that one. But like just an overwhelming odds. Like, fuck it.
I mean, I'm ready for a good fight. I don't know what kind of guns they'll have, but I mean, I'll fight back.
They got a bunch of their aircraft, so they probably got, I doubt they would come here without weapons.
This alien's not firing a gun.
No,
they're going to have some kind of.
I don't know what.
Well, there's nowhere to put a holster, so where they?
I'm guessing that's some sort of environmental cause of that. I mean, that almost looks like that's beyond.
Like they live behind the DuPont factory and fucking.
Yeah.
Right. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Daddy was a paint sniffer. Or mama was or whatever. I guess daddy doesn't matter. I would like to now. I want to know more about them boys' journey, more so than them 1,000-pound sisters and their Diet Cola struggles. Bitches, I quit with one soda. It's over.
You didn't even wait for your forehead hump to start.
Yeah. I don't want to do, I don't know. I probably won't have pole bearers, but I wouldn't want to do that to pole bearers. Like fucking 900-pound. Wow, that's a cool shirt, guys. Yeah, I mean, that'd be, I would want to.
Thanks, it's tablecloth.
Maybe what I need to do is go seek them boys
fell
out.
on top of us and we can't pull it off.
Nobody
says under the table and we frightened some people at dinner and they threw this at us.
I don't know why.
Nobody
but
says you can't have a goalie with two heads. I can go coach him, and then they're a goalie. I'm like, no, you can't have. Yes, it's like, well, you show me in the rule book where a goalie has to have one.
Is a defender, but he's got to stay in the goal.
Yeah,
he'd be a pretty good goaltender, I think. I mean,
I mean,
not going to cover
a lot. Unless you just loop it over their head.
Yeah, it'd be tough you could hit it high, but yeah, they'd be tough to get it under them. That's for sure.
Definitely a Netflix series trying to coach them up.
Maybe a hockey goalie
would be probably good. Close that fifth hole.
Yeah, 5 holes done. You can't get a puck through there.
Or foosball. Hey, now. Sorry, fellas. I enjoy your podcast, and I shouldn't have made that crack.
Foosball world champions, dude. Are you kidding me?
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable. You have an extra. You got a fucking extra hand,
too.
Oh my God.
Hey, we all could wake up behind a dumpster at DuPont and fall into that. That would be cool too.
There are quite a few people of Indian descent that are showing up when I put in Spider Legs or Spider Boy.
Yeah, that's
God. That looks like just a weird, like kaleidoscope style picture Photoshop.
Okay. Yeah, bring those guys. We bring those guys to the desert, but nobody knows about it. Sandro puts them into some light up hats and shit. We're just out
cartwheels.
We're tripping, and then these fellas show up, all lit up and shit. That would be fucking great. God, and
they would have the spaceship arrives.
They would be, they'd have to be in the proper mood for it that night. But afterwards, you'd be like, man, you fucking guys freaked us out. Holy shit.
Yeah.
You each want a breakfast sandwich, or how does this work? Looks like it's all going to end up in the same place.
That's start at one end of one.
Yeah, I wonder if that would be pretty convenient. Like if you went to dinner, like one guy could just do all the eating while the other guy did all the talking or whatever. Like it all.
So he'd save time in those business meetings. That Roos Chris.
Okay, I guess we just have
You get
to
a whole
discuss
steak down.
ass
You never have to
maintenance.
stop talking.
I never have to stop and eat. I can talk the whole time. So let's keep going here. I got another meeting in 10 minutes. Got to get over to the Olive
I got
Garden.
shit to do.
All we can eat, it says. If there's a bunch of folks like that, what do they not put?
So the guy
on?
comes over, he's like, nope, it's all you can eat, not all you can eat.
Pay $3.50 for an extra plate for your friend there, but yeah, if I had those fellers, I would challenge all those rules. You know, we're gonna go one, please. When I took
I'm hungry. You
when I
have a
took-
cup of ice. He has a
tried to-
meeting. He's
in a
doing a
suit.
Zoom meeting while I'm at the.
He's in a suit. The other guy's in a sweatsuit laying around.
They'd watch you all super close the whole time.
You got something? Yeah. I noticed you looking at me. That would be a fucking way to go. You know, I mean, they don't do that. That's not like. But if one of you go like, man, I want to be attached to. You know, you'd have to find somebody you're compatible with.
Wait, so you're saying not only
Elective
are you
surgery?
not going to have the surgery to separate conjoined twins, you're interested in finding someone you could be sewn to.
Well, no,
Is that
I
what
don't,
you're
like, I don't
saying
think.
right
I mean,
now?
it depends on the way you get sewn, but yeah, that would be. You know, well, I've never met that person that I'd feel that close. You know, want to
You'd have to
share.
prove.
You want, you know, it's like people say, I want to share everything with you, but that would be like, okay, you know, we're here.
Including a colon.
I'm surprised somebody
Commitment.
hasn't done that. It's just like a dirty trick or whatever, though.
Well, isn't that the human
It's a
centipede?
human centipede.
Yeah, yeah, like that.
I identify
though.
as a Siamese twin.
My pronouns are us, and the crew. Can they be? Has there ever been a triple conjoined?
I don't know. I was thinking about that a little while ago. Because if you did that, then there'd be one guy who'd be in the middle. He'd like
Hey
never
Mo, hey Mo.
never get to use his legs. Or
Fucking
Uh-huh.
third wheel.
Literally
Yeah.
the third wheel. That's his name. Third wheel. Or like a conjoined where you got like a chick in the middle, or a triple, two brothers. I've never heard of
Fucking
it.
Duggars.
Yeah, I've never heard of a triple. But there had through the history. I bet there's been a triple.
I'm looking right now. I'm afraid of what I might find, but
Yeah. Anything to
Yeah.
get that picture
But
off.
that's the human centipede model. That would be nobody's choice. You know, but just stuck to the glued heads or something.
Yeah.
That'd be a protest. Glue your heads and then glue yourself to a piece of art. That's at least you're making a weird statement.
Yeah.
We're stuck here, and
Glue your
now we're
face
stuck
to the-
there.
Mona Lisa. Did you guys see the pictures of AI making the rest of paintings? Like you see the Mona Lisa and you're like, oh, I wonder what the rest of it looks like. And they would do like a, you know, what
like down below, she's got bloomers.
extended the
or,
picture. Yeah, it was really stupid. It's like, oh, well, that's
Yeah, AI is going to be a challenge. I mean, I'm not I'm, you know, it seems interesting, but it also seems like it's fucking just problematic. You know, not just because of the Terminators, but just like, for instance, those ladies who presented themselves as hookers that live local. You know, that's you know, I'm dueling with the future there. You know,
yeah.
they're gonna get better at that. You know, oh, your pictures are, you know, like not one comment on the pictures. Come on, that's the easiest way to rope an idiot in. Oh, you're really handsome. Oh, really? You saw that one of me and my brother stuck together?
Yeah, you were probably talking to my brother.
So there is a triplet.
Oh,
wow.
man. No,
Yeah,
I don't
I
want
don't-
to see them as babies. That just makes me sad. I'm gonna go get some.
Oh, they're all happy.
What? I don't even
I
know.
can't
what
even
that
tell what I'm
is.
looking at.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Those babies have boobs.
I
or
bet
they're like grapefruits, man.
There's probably
Knees.
no
Those
chances.
babies are all knees.
There's
Yeah.
probably no way they could separate them, so they probably live to about. I wonder how they. I don't think that's a longevity situation there.
Oh, what if those are other babies trying to come out?
Oh wait, you know what? It's only two. They laid that other one next to
That's
next
what I
to
thought.
they were all born at the same time.
It's
But
like a banana. They were trying to show you the size.
yeah.
It's okay, Brad. It's just two and a half babies.
Yeah, that's
Three.
terrible.
It's just two babies that are horribly disfigured. It's all right.
I was gonna complain to Chaille about that picture of the dolls that were set up as the human centipede that was freaking me out. But I'm not even gonna look at that. I'm just gonna focus in the general area.
Well,
You'll
good
be sitting on
news.
a beach.
Good news, guys. They're now 17 years old,
Oh man.
Oh no!
and they were successfully
Look at that.
Oh, right
See?
on.
Wow. Yeah. See, Brad, you
happy
couldn't look
ending.
at him.
Come on,
You
guys.
couldn't look at him, and now look at him.
See,
What kind of
That's-
a person are you? We were like,
Good
how are they all
job,
stuck
kids.
together?
you guys were
Yeah.
invested from the beginning. You're right. I'm a bandwagon jumping fan here. And you guys bought their first album. You saw their first tour.
They do kind of look like a young Hanson group there. So maybe, yeah, the triplets or whatever. That's cool. I did, usually you think they have a miserable slog and they all seem to have gotten a body, it looks like. Or are they still
Seems like they didn't
Well-
have that many arms to start with.
hold on. I got another
Yeah.
picture.
Act 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's now that they're 17. That's a regular person behind them. So they
They did all right though.
They're cut off.
they can party together.
Oh
right.
yeah,
What are they connected by?
they're not.
Oh, they're
Not
not.
connected anymore.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
got those
They're
little
little, they're
crutches.
stunted.
uh-huh.
Good
Oh,
for
yeah,
them.
yeah.
They had a
Yeah.
hard time storming the
I won't comment because
Capitol
they're 17.
on January
but they're,
6th, but they managed.
yeah.
Yeah.
When they're 18, I can comment on
They couldn't climb up the front of the Capitol. They just had somebody chuck them up there.
It's just imagine Mishka's beating around their trailer going, hey, guys are almost 18, huh? Not that they live in a trailer. I was thinking Mishka's trailer.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago when they were 17. That was in
Oh,
2020.
okay. This is
They're-
pretty
they're-
big breasts there. They, they're puberty, all right. Where's their, was their other sibling, boy or
No, it's the third girl
is that the one behind them? That,
right here.
okay.
I can't tell from that picture. It doesn't say.
Probably like the Olsen twins with Elizabeth Olsen. I mean, they were kind of weird. They look like I mean, it's little girls. They look to me. They look like a fucking doll or something. There was just something weird about their faces.
The
Like the-
twins?
I thought the Olsen twins when they were little, but maybe it was because they were just so fucking marketed or whatever. That was the
Yeah, I
first.
don't think I really ever. I managed to miss Full House phenomenon entirely. Like
Did too.
I was too old for it, and my kids were too young for it, so it never. I managed to just completely miss it.
Yeah, it's funny that Saget and there were comics on it, but those guys were just like, all right, let's just make a lot of money on this shit, and we'll just be TV
On the reboot.
snappy. Yeah,
No, just all of it.
yeah. David Coulier. I don't
Dave
think he's probably
Coulier.
a dirty act anyway, but I mean, doing a Popeye voice
He used-
and being
he
that
used to
wacky
come in-
uncle.
Yeah, he used to come into the club in Peoria every once in a while. He
Mhm.
wasn't he wasn't terrible at comedy.
Yeah, yeah. I
He
mean,
got some good legitimate
quick.
laughs. And, yeah,
quick guy.
he wasn't he wasn't all that into meeting his fans, which was that could
Full
be
House.
that could be for any reason, but he really made no accommodation for it. He
Wouldn't
pretty
it
much
be a
stayed
Full
in the green
House?
room until everyone was
Was
gone?
that was Full House days?
Well, it was well after Full House
Uh-huh.
days, but
Yeah,
he was
It ran
and
forever.
everybody who he was everybody who came
He
to
probably does it as self-preservation. Like if you heard what Uncle Joey meant to you over and over from
Sure.
people, you would go, it'd be, it's probably better you just avoid it than to go.
it might be that
I mean, because he's probably not that. I wouldn't be, it's a big paycheck, and it was, but it's like, if you did something and you thought it sucked or was for middle America idiots or whatever, and it was successful or whatever. That's kind of what that feels like. It's just like they just got,
Yeah,
it's
you don't
make the
wanna talk about it
soupiest
anymore.
fucking shit or whatever, and then
Yeah.
afterwards, like, that touched me, Joey. It touched me, or
Got me through some rough times when you did that. Cut it out,
me.
man. That really got me through, man. Thanks a lot, bro.
That's not the same twin. That's not them as youngsters, is it? On the
Yeah.
The Conjoined Twins. Yeah, that's
No,
them.
no. These are the Olsen twins.
yeah, they look good. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's probably the way they
Ours
fixed them up on
adults.
that. It's probably the way they fixed them up on that show because they just look like like fucking dolls or whatever, and not like sexy dolls, just baby dolls. They had a bunch of stupid shit, and I guess I don't know how I caught some of it, but I saw some videos of the Olsen twins. They would do the Olsen twins go to whatever.
Yeah,
go
yeah. They
camping
did
or
movies and
whatever.
TV movies.
And I think
and
maybe
shit, right?
I don't know. I don't know why I watched that.
Well, you
Seems
were
like
also watching Little House on the Prairie and taking care
Well,
of your
but
your
the Olsen
dollop.
twins, I'm way older than them, so I could only say that my kid watched it, but I doubt she did. So I probably just was a fucking creeper and hate watched the Olsen twins adventures. I like that. Well, I mean, they could have been in our face all these years. The Olsen twins.
Yeah,
They
they're
were
okay.
oversaturated. They were all over the place, and they haven't really. Kind of a bummer because they haven't really done a lot of.
They're a little weird, but there's no way you couldn't be a little weird.
Oh
if
man,
that's
yeah,
who
they
you
were
grew up
fucking.
as, you know.
They were blown up, and they
Yeah.
and not in a way that they didn't know it either. They were blown up.
I mean,
and
from the time they were a fucking, they were
toddler, yeah.
toddlers, yeah.
Infant, yeah.
So they didn't have a choice in it. They didn't even have that chance to say when they were 10, oh, I want to be in movies or whatever. Like they were already doing it. So they don't,
Did any of you guys finish that Love and Hate with Elizabeth?
No, I never
Olsen?
I haven't watched that yet.
Oh man, the
I'll
last
watch that at
episode.
some
Yeah,
point.
if you just need a bummer, watch the episode with the axe swinging. I think that's the final one. I mean, it's
You don't need to set,
But I think Chaille would like it because it just had it was realistic gore.
I like that.
Yeah, so it was like, holy shit, is that I mean, it's troubling, but it's definitely when you can think in your head, I'm not watching a woman get her head hacked off. I'm watching some fucking
so she gets her head hacked off in the final episode.
not hacked off, but she lands a nice one with the axe. If you get that sweet spot in a piece of wood, she gets that.
All right.
And it all
Well,
started.
if you're thinking about watching Love and Death on HBO,
it's. I mean, the whole story kind of leads to that. So you don't go into that episode surprised. It's just the court flashbacks or whatever.
Oh, all right.
But I thought she was way less handsome of a woman when they showed her at the end of it than they show the real people. It's like, okay, Jesse Plemons is in the neighborhood of the dude, as far as
Yeah.
Definitely
The real life person.
the two women
Clemens
involved.
looks like a real person. He's
yeah,
like a movie
Elizabeth,
star,
yeah,
guy.
but it's kind of funny too to go, wow, those two people, unattractive folks hooked up at church and did that. I mean, the story's true. You just have
Right.
It's much easier to watch a.
So what were you saying about what? So what are you saying about Elizabeth Olsen? She's better looking than you thought she was.
She's much better looking than the actual woman.
Oh yeah.
And the actual woman is what you would picture for a Texas fucking church going lady, stupid hair and real
right.
fucking plain scrub. But I think almost everything is better looking in the movies. And
that's why I couldn't. That's why I couldn't stand that I, Tonya movie because I'm like, there's just no way that anybody that looks like Margot Robbie is ever going to go through anything like what Tanya Harding went through. No matter what, and she's a great actor, and she did the acting well, but you can't quit looking like that yourself. She's playing.
Yeah, and it's not like
Barbie
she could skate either, so she wasn't hired because of her skating,
Of course.
I took a picture when Tanya Harding came to the Man Show and had a sparring match with Stanhope. Man. So what we were talking, man, I fucking I don't even think the edible. It's just like I'm driving to the store to get a soda again.
So something about you.
Oh, Tanya Harding. So I took a picture of the Juggies pre-show. They're in the hallway, and
Yeah.
I mean, I was a photographer in high school, so I took some pictures of the ladies in their undergarments. They were getting ready.
Did
they know you were taking?
Yeah, no. They were show attired, but lingerie. And then Tanya's in a boxing shirt and her, and just looks, she looks like Tanya Harding. But if it was Margot Robbie, she would look all right. She wouldn't. But you put Tanya in there. That's why it was a hilarious picture to me.
Right.
So that movie ruins the whole concept of that picture.
Right. It's impossible to get into. But so yes. So it's there. That's what Hollywood does.
Yeah. Tanya Harding, not that. Well, she looked pretty sweet in that penthouse. The beginning.
I just want to also say, just for the record, before we go any further into all of this, all the body shaming we've been doing this episode, I've been guilty of a lot of it. I know what I look like and what we all. I'm fat and gross, and who cares? Like we all know we're ugly, too. So it's not like we're
Tanya's actually.
We're not trying to make fun of Tanya Harding, like
she just. I guess I mean right there she looks pretty cute there, but in that picture, she was I think she was kind of having a meltdown or whatever.
Eventually
she was a little heavier than
Tanya Harding.
She was only arm heavy because she was boxing shit.
Tanya Harding isn't.
I agree. You're
pleasant
fat
to look at.
No,
but
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie is stunningly beautiful, and that's the difference.
Yeah, it's the opposite of when they put Charlize Theron in The Monster. I was like,
well, they did as much as they could with makeup and shit for that too. But I mean, Margot Robbie's playing a character that's fucking ice skating, so you can't you know what I mean? You're gonna be in a ice skating outfit.
That Whitey Bulger movie with Johnny Depp.
Black Mass.
And then you watch that and you're like, they made him. I mean, he looks exactly like Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta.
I think just got Ray Liotta to do it for nothing.
I think it's like
Ray Liotta would have been way cheaper.
Way cheaper.
Yeah, and he had the natural face. It's like Johnny Depp did not look like Whitey Bulger, but the makeup job on it sort of looked like Ray Liotta to me. I may be wrong on that. Well, I haven't seen that one. Is that an action shot from the?
Yeah.
Stanhope was in his fighting shape, man. He was.
Yeah, he looks good, man. Look at that belly button. It looks.
Yeah, his belly button poking out. If Tanya would have hit him there, he probably would have had a hernia.
He would have crumbled.
Yeah.
Well, she could go back with the tips we could give her.
Yeah, there's not a night she doesn't lay in bed before she goes to sleep. If I would have just hit the crumble button, she would have folded like a fucking.
Throwing little punches in her sleep.
Yeah.
I wonder what she's up to now, because she was doing landscaping stuff, but like hard ass shit, like cutting down,
working
shit. Yeah,
she was never afraid to work hard, and
she beat instead of being worked over by a dude. I think she probably did get hit by a dude too, but she'd also throw back.
Yeah, her biggest mistake was the men she surrounded herself with were complete dipshits.
Yeah,
and she listened to them. And that was
it was like that. Like what a fucking scheme that was. Like we're gonna hit her in the knee, and you're gonna win and get all these.
Hey,
Erickson, never
did
it occur to them that attacking another rival is going to be the main story, even if you win,
and create stress and
right. It's
bitch had a triple axel.
He already had the triple axel.
It's like Michael Jordan going after Clyde Drexler, I'm gonna fucking put some shit in his shoes and fuck him up.
Hey, Erickson, here, this
game,
totally makes your point right here.
Look at that.
So,
See?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I know why they put Margot Robbie in there is because she's got a marquee name.
But
She
she's
doesn't
a
need to
good
know how to
actor.
skate.
She's a
Yeah.
good actor.
And
I
she's
mean,
got a name.
yeah. But
The person they had play Tanya Harding's mother was the one
yeah, she's
amazing
good.
casting
Yeah.
that's exactly how that person was. And then because I know a lot of the people that were portrayed in the movie, some of them they didn't even put any fucking effort at all. They just put somebody and called her that.
Well, that's it. I mean, at some level, once you get down a couple of people from the important part of the story, it doesn't really matter if you get what they look like, right? Nobody
that
knows
movie
that.
must not have been that great because that's the thing I took away from it was that casting of it. But I've always thought that would make a great movie, almost like a Fargo type of crime situation with that dude. You know, the dude in the motel getting the porno movies with the collapsible baton, and then the fat blowhard with the
that guy was great too.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that oh yeah. I should watch that again just for
that guy was he's the guy
we've talked about him and
yeah,
he was the murderer in that one.
Yeah, he just did that Apple
Cobra
TV
Kai.
Yeah, he's in Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai's got another run, I think, doesn't it?
I don't know. I gave up on that one.
It's stupid. I mean,
it's just one of those where I felt like I'd watched enough of it.
Nostalgia will turn you into an asshole. If you're nostalgic for stupid shit, it's just stupid again.
When Cobra Kai came back, that was a brilliant idea.
Oh yeah, I love
and
the
to have
first couple runs.
And the idea of having the two of them, those two characters that were in the positions they were in, still, based on how they had acted as teenagers, and then the redemption story of Johnny or whatever his name is. Yeah, and then they just kept going with the story for too long, and it got to be about kids having crazy
white kids. Don't you guys have to go to school? You're always like karate or plotting karate revenges and shit. Like, if you're a parent, you're like, your grades have really not been going very well since you got karate. You're like, doesn't matter. Okay, all right, man.
Well, imagine now too, and like, your worst fear as a parent is that you're gonna get a call from the police that the school's on lockdown. And you're like, oh, it's a shooter. Oh no, it's karate the sophomores. They're having a fucking gigantic karate fight, and everybody's dead. Everyone's paralyzed. People are being thrown.
Everybody was kung fu fighting, and then somebody pulled out a machine gun, hit them up. All them fucking black belts and laid in a heap.
Red belts.
I always pictured it as a musical. I never watched it, but I always pictured it as like.
It would have worked. That actually would work. You might have just come up with a great idea. They should just do that now.
Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai. Well, Cobra Kai. Mitchell was watching the last season. I watched 1 or 2 episodes where, I only saw the first Karate Kid, but they made a bunch of them. So Cobra Kai went on long enough that all of the people in all of the sequels ended up working their way back in. It's like, oh, that's the guy from Karate Kid 9. He's the guy who
the dude with the ponytail had a pretty sweet life going there. And then he got back into karate, and it's like,
right,
bad investment, bro. Strip malls in and of themselves are folding up.
You don't need to pay for that square footage. Anybody who had made the money that guy made would have known that. Like,
you can do a lot of evil shit with your money. You don't have to get involved with running a karate school.
For teenagers,
be a bad guy in business.
Yeah.
That's kind of where Andy was headed. If his basketball thievery ring ever expanded, he had all those guys
could have been
ripping stuff off.
Yeah. If any of them had, I mean, I couldn't inflate their stats enough to get them on the Oregon State team, which was why they were there. So not a single one of them went on to any success. Even
I'm pretty sure Andy.
Even Clarence with 17 rebounds on the bench.
I'm pretty sure that before Oregon State gives out a scholarship in basketball, they don't just get the hard data. They might actually come watch the game. Once or twice see a game, it's like, wow, this guy had 44 rebounds
He only got two.
But those guys thought it. I mean, it made them feel better about themselves, and
It wasn't a bad plan.
it's just there to get, so I'm like, I mean, it would be a bummer if I got confronted about it now and it somehow had a negative impact on people's lives that I inflated or deflated stats. But I don't think it had any effect. But I think most of the guys who were at Lynn Benton Community College were guys who hoped that their grades would be, so they figure they hover around there, and then they fall in with the bad crowd. And I got them doing burglaries, and we all kind of had. I wasn't a ringleader. We are all, we were like, we all got together and thought, let's steal some shit from somebody. And then it's like, let's get some ideas.
I think when you're in high school and you're still in that nothing's gonna happen to me kind of phase.
Yeah, it's fun. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I mean, I kind of like the going through interrogation in community college, because I didn't break there. And if you don't break, getting confronted by a security guy and your boss at a community college,
you're
not breakable.
Yeah, you could be a Navy SEAL.
And I was one of them who lied to their face about the whole fucking thing.
Never squeal.
Yeah, I could have, I could have said, well, it was somebody whose skin was a little. I don't want to.
I mean, wait a minute. You're asking me whether it was me or one of these four guys?
That would have been one of them, those things where, it would have been probably easy enough to throw it on them. And then those guys would have beat my ass. So it wouldn't have been that easy after all. But one of them one of the, I think it was Clarence ratted us out. And we were, we just had to return stuff. It's not like it's not like they were going to put us in jail. They just, they wanted us to admit we stole stuff and bring it back. But
you guys were grabbing stuff out of a locker. You weren't getting like a case of German bearer bonds.
I never did give back the big duffel bag.
Andy's 11.
Yeah, Hans Gruber, and we're breaking into the Kumasaki building. And then in high school, the big heist was the stealing the girls' shorts, of which I think I kind of broke under that, because I think they use better, like everybody else has already confessed, kind of shit.
You're like Trump. You're like, no, I don't know what they're talking about.
I do, like at some point I get it, whereas that's the cool thing about what's going on with Trump is he doesn't handle pressure well or any kind of this shit. So just watching how he react, it's like, oh, grandpa's going to freak out when he hears this kind of a thing. And that's,
it's going to be a bloodbath. I don't want to steer it into.
I'm ready for a nice break from it at all. It just seems like everybody's rolled over on this poor old fucking drug-addled piece of shit, and he's gonna fucking, he's gonna rail against everything. He's gonna fucking all caps the shit out of it, and it's like, it's almost like at this point, I bet the inner circle, all the people around him, they probably just don't give a shit anymore. They just want to shut his fucking yap, and he's gonna get more and more obsessive.
When you're a guy like that in that position, you can surround yourself with people who just want to be part of it because there's money and power and all of that there. So, but as you're a complete asshole that it's hard to be around, you shed those people, and as time goes on, the quality of people that come up into that position gets worse and worse. So, he's getting to the point where, now it's just fucking
his buddy Mark.
Everybody around him is batshit crazy.
Yeah, or fucking completely deep in the shit. So they got to fucking roll. And it's kind of funny to if you go back and watch what they said back then or whatever, and then it's all playing out. It's getting to some point where some weird shit or some interesting shit's going to move the story. So I'm only interested in that. I don't care I really don't even care if Trump does any jail time whatsoever, as long as he just shits his pants and he's gonna fucking lose his shit at the court. It's gonna be hilarious. I think we can all sit back, and he doesn't have the nuclear codes anymore. He's a feeble old angry man who's guilty.
I want to change. I want to change the subject. Chad, you recommended that fucking show.
Oh,
the midget.
Watch that
The
shit.
Curious Case of Natalia Grace, and I watched it all. And that now my first question is: there's more, right? Did I just catch up to it?
I read that.
Or is it over?
I think
Because they really left it like still completely going.
They did leave it that
maybe
way.
I just caught up to it.
I read about it, and the next one.
Don't spoil it then. If there's
no,
more.
I mean, but the
There
next
is-
one,
there are
is
more
gonna
episodes
focus
coming.
on the little lady, and she's got something to say now. Or
Yeah, good. All right.
She had her little hands tied back then, whereas I think
it wasn't. It's fucked up.
It's
story.
unbelievable.
But how? Let me just ask you guys this: how annoying is that fucking guy, the adopted dad? How much did you?
Yeah.
Fucking choke him when he was describing the shit his wife was doing to his estranged wife, and
crying.
But
Alligator tears.
He was
like this
fucking
huge
complete
overacting.
phony.
Yeah.
Remember when he did the scene where he was describing? He's like, I want to describe. Oh, you want me to describe what my wife did to her? Let me show. Get the camera.
This shot
Here,
right here.
Get a shot of the floor. Get a shot of the floor right now. Get a shot of the floor. And then he climbed down on the floor and he fucking like.
And then he hurt his arm.
What am I looking at right now?
Well, I mean, how it ended was there. I'm a thrower. Remember, she gave him the iPad, and there's something that another midget, a sexy little midget man, said that he heard that guy had been boning the midget.
Yes.
So that came out right.
And that was the end.
ends.
Yeah, that was the.
So
I only saw 2 episodes, and I was so disgusted by it. And I just I hate the way that they're like, the first episode, you're like, oh, that little girl, she's crazy. And then you watch the next episode, and they cut it together like that.
It was
the dad and mom, they're the ones to blame.
Well, look,
manipulating.
And it's a fucked up story. And you do go for a ride on it, but I will also say that I did not care for the way it was edited. Like, so the way the first episode is edited, they just are throwing at you this fucking mishmash of shit, and you're like, well, wait a minute, and it seemed like how as a murder porn fan, like when I watch Dateline, I always close my eyes and cover my ears for the first fucking 2 minutes because they give away the whole fucking story, and they tell you, and then it all turned when they found a key under a dresser, and it was don't tell me that. I'm gonna watch the fucking show. I want to see what happens. The whole first episode of this thing was that.
Yes.
Like they were just doing smash cuts to fucking a court case and screaming and this pointing. You're just like seeing all this shit. It's like, dude, just
feel like they also like their James Inman was the dad.
Yeah, that's
like they kind of like, oh, this guy's the one. He's the one we can really and he turns out he's the biggest fucking weirdo of all of them.
Well, maybe, but
the mom was a fucking real weirdo for sure.
Weirdo.
Yeah, I like that she sent she was trying to set up that little guy to go
banger.
And I don't know. The whole fucking thing, the production of it was bad for sure.
Yeah.
But it's that investigate discovery. Those guys, if you look at how many of those murder porn documentaries those guys throw together, there's about 1 million of them.
Yeah,
it's just
with I think probably with the little people subject matter, they thought they could just kind of they didn't have to bring in the best. It's like we got a hook.
It was fucked up though, man.
If they brought in the really good crew to do that, that story's fascinating.
It's fascinating, and like you go from. I mean, they did. The story itself is so interesting that at least for me, I did go on a roller coaster of whether or not I felt absolute sympathy for the little girl, or just like, fuck this bitch. She's crazy, and like I still don't know. I still
Right,
don't know.
right.
But if her age is what it was, you know,
If her age is what they now
she's an
say it
annoying,
was, then,
creepy little kid.
then she's innocent. You know, like
Yes.
she got put into a bad situation and didn't know what the fuck.
So
to do.
she was 9?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she was a
Yeah.
little kid, is what it
Yeah.
comes out to be.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
took her and put her in an apartment in another town because they
Okay.
adopted her.
Yeah.
You know?
These two fucking parents got they even though she's tiny, they bit off more than they could chew,
Yeah.
and they didn't know what to do about it, and the fucking wife went crazy and they ditched her. You know,
They had her re-aged from
They
8
had her
to
re-aged.
22.
Oh yeah, re-aging. Wasn't that a bitch, huh? If they
So
the
they had the
come
court
at you.
say, yeah, now she's no longer 8, she's 22. And so the mom took her over, they got her an apartment and dropped her off.
dropped her off. See
on
ya.
a second
See
story
ya.
apartment, and she's
then-
wobbly.
And then all the neighbors that they would talk to were like, yeah, they felt sorry for her and they didn't know what was going on. But then also all of them, this is what I mean about the person, and you don't know how I feel about her. Like all of them would start out with this story. Then after after like a week, they're like, this fucking kid. Like she was always like sitting on their front stoop when they'd get home
Yeah.
from work, you know, like
Yeah.
they couldn't avoid
Oh,
it.
Gotta step over her to get in your house.
Constantly fucking coming over and trying to be because she was fucking 8 and she didn't
Yeah.
know what the fuck
Abandoned
to do.
child,
But
and I
everyone
know
thought she
it'll
was
be
like
interesting.
20.
That's what'll
Yeah.
be interesting to watch. The second part is they'll have to go back to those neighbors and say, how do you that one dude who
But
was
most of them
pretty
were,
cool, but he just couldn't take it anymore.
but they
He's
just
gonna
couldn't take it.
feel-
But they were just living their lives. They didn't know what the
Right.
fuck was going on. But
Yeah.
like most of the neighbors were way more kind than anybody else in the whole story, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, they brought her food and stuff.
they
But then
tried to
they're
help
like,
her.
But then they're like, well, she stunk and she didn't ever change her clothes. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
9 and she's fucking handicapped, dude. She needs help
Handicapped.
with that shit, and she's a
When a
child.
baby shits its diaper, you
Yeah.
change it.
Well,
When a kid has dirty clothes, they give it to
what
the
the fuck to
parents.
do. And
I-
like there was the one scene where the fucking dad came over and he was like filming it all for some reason. And mostly like they were also like weird, you know.
They
filming-
filmed their
they
abuse a
filmed
lot.
their abuse.
Yeah.
And like he came over and he was like looking through her shit and he found some donuts and he's like, where did these come from? Who did you get these from? And she's like, I don't know. They were just there, you know, like, and they just get into this whole thing and say, oh, I got them from Lucy next door or whatever. What? That's what I'm like, what the fuck is like, she can't have, you dropped her off here. Like,
Yeah.
you know, she's got donuts. And why are you mad that she
He's
has
treating her
donuts?
like she's 22.
But even so,
Oh.
what the fuck do you care if she has donuts? Like the whole thing was
What also I liked about that it was the Superboy, the kid who was doing TED Talks, really
Oh,
intelligent.
who's now living in the
destroyed him.
basement?
Now living in in the basement of his
Dad's
dad's
Is it
place.
basement.
like quantum physics or something? Like some
Yeah,
mathematic
he's a-
genius?
Yeah, he was
Who
on
forgot
60
his
Minutes.
mic was on and
uh-huh.
admitted some shady shit.
Yeah, he was on 60 Minutes being about his intelligence, and he forgets to cut his mic like he's on the Unbookables.
It's the jinx. Yeah, I felt sorry for that kid, and you
No,
know,
he's broken by
They got broken by it, and he also was at least, of course, compared to the dad and the mom too, who we haven't really heard from as much yet. But the kid at least had like it broke him because he had such serious remorse over how it all went down.
Yeah, and he
like that's a good person.
if he didn't have the remorse, he could have just gone about his business and moved from I guess the other kids are smart too, so they went to a special school in Canada or whatever. But
the siblings.
that was to me that was hilarious. The guy's giving a TED talk, being interviewed on 60 Minutes, and then sitting in a fucking chair in his dad's basement, long hair, all fucking somber and shit. Like, oh, I want to hear this
He
guy.
looks like a school shooter. to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they're
wanna
showing
hear
his
what
whiteboard with stuff like "You
Yeah.
matter, take a shower, buddy." Like, oh, that's fucking damn.
Whatever happened with him that they'll probably get, haven't quite got to is, I don't, I don't get that he's that broken by you know
Well,
what
no, well,
failed so far, but
yeah, but I don't know. I mean,
not
he
him doing
admitted that the son admitted that his mom had made him like pee in her bed
oh yeah,
to
yeah,
try to
that's right.
like,
Yeah, that's what.
because she kept like, soiling the bed or whatever, and it was mom was trying to teach her a
That was the one,
lesson.
yeah.
The parents were fucking psychopaths.
Uh-huh. But yeah, with
So,
yeah,
this
yeah, I
kid
guess I could do
he
it.
was a kid, he was doing what
Mhm,
his mom told him to do. So he fucking lost his mind over it. Like, this
mhm.
was fucked up.
Yeah.
And he got out of there, and now he's living with his dad. And it turns out he got there and he hadn't seen his dad in years, and he gets there and his dad's a fucking nightmare too. Like,
Oh
no,
man,
fuck.
his dad's gonna. It seems like the story's headed to a place where he's gonna fucking, regret his involvement with the situation. You know, I think he's like, I think he. What was that rich guy who had the film? The staircase.
The
He's
Jink, well, the
kind of like.
staircase
I
and the
think that
Jink,
guy
both
is
of them.
like that guy in the staircase where he's
Yeah,
like, oh, well, this will be, and I'll be on there, and he got, and he's like the first one to jump on it, and and now chip away, and I bet he's probably guilty of some shit.
yeah.
He's gonna go, oh man,
Well, the dad is such a fucking weirdo. And you're right. The staircase is a good
he's like
example.
he's like
Because he's
this.
one of those guys, he thinks he can perform his way out of it. Like, there was that one weird scene before the court case, his court case,
Mhm.
where he was standing in the backyard and he was talking to the camera, and he had a baseball bat, and he was swinging
Yeah.
the bat,
And
like,
it's
well,
smashed.
we're gonna take a swing. And like, he was literally like
Yeah,
no one told him, a little on the nose, dude. And then he's swinging it real hard. Like, and I played a tiny bit of baseball. When you swing a bat as hard as you can without actually trying to like hit a baseball, you'll fucking hurt yourself. Like, you can
yeah,
like hurt your
that's what he was
shoulders
doing
and shit. Like,
too.
it's hard to swing that with no resistance. He like smacks himself with it almost. You can see it hurt. And he's like, but he's trying to like, do a good one for the
in the
camera.
first episode, he seemed a little flamboyant. I thought he may be gay.
Oh, I was expecting that to come.
I was expecting that too, but he is it's like the Michael Scott in the Office thing.
Yeah.
Like, he's performing. He doesn't want to look like he's performing, but he's performing.
Yeah, he's
And
over the
they
top
just
for
keep
sure.
letting him go. And like,
I don't. However, they had their money or whatever, but he bought 10 dozen roses for her on their 10th.
yeah, back in the day.
He had some dough, man.
Yeah, he was rich.
Yeah. But he's. I'll bet he's probably not opposed to blowing Morgan Freeman in a car.
I'm glad that line
back.
didn't totally glitch out. I just got to say.
So what was he on trial for? I didn't get that far in it.
Well, you should watch it.
Trial,
no,
yeah.
They get charged with abandoning a fucking
person.
Yeah.
And the court case
and then it's all about how old she is.
They didn't know. They didn't allow that in the court case.
Right.
They referred to her as couldn't refer to her as a minor because her age was 20 something according to the court records, but it looks like she was more like 12 or 13 at the time. So
Chaille, they went and found her mother in Ukraine, did a DNA test on this woman. Turns out it was her mother.
Oh wow.
And her mother explained that in the situation she was in, she was poor, and she gave birth to this baby that had, that was disabled and deformed. And, basically the doctors told her, you'll have more kids. Let us have her. We'll take her. We'll put her in a fucking, you don't want her. And so she gave her up. But she said that was in 2003. So the mother was born in 1979. For this kid to be as old as the adopted parents say she is, she would have had to have this kid when she was 10.
Possible.
Well, I guess, but so then they go to court. They go to court, and the other judge said she's 22. She's 22. That's it.
Yep.
So then it just looked like, like parents wanting to get rid of an annoying kid,
right?
Moving them out of the house, where it's like, that's not a crime. Yeah, I love that dude being, I mean, that's what makes the show is that he's such a fucking asshole, the dad. So unaware of what a
Oh my
douchebag and
God.
his out, he, he teared up and he's just like fucking tears just falling like waterfalls out of his face. It's like, Jesus, dude, you're fucking melodramatic and you're pretty good at it. And he can elicit tears like that. And, there's a few times on there where you just wanted to go, Jesus, I want to punch this guy so bad in the face.
The whole
playing
time.
to the
The
camera.
whole time.
It was like Norm Wilkerson when we were doing the Unbookables, and he was like, "Hey Andy, how do you ride out your bets? You put him." You're like, "Shut up, Norm. Fuck off." Like I see what you're trying to do. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Yeah. So, spoiler alert: you're gonna watch The Curious Case of.
I hope they get a better crew together for the second part of that.
Well, what's this? I mean, you say the second part is.
So there's another
every week.
Yeah. They show. I mean, the little lady is an adult, and she's pretty sensible. And
so
is that
kind of be one more episode next? Is it?
No. I think I think that ended, and then the story continued. So, and I think that I think I read that they're going to do more episodes. But and it's her. It was Chad. It's Revenge of the Dwarf, but it's basically that's what it is.
Yeah.
She's going to come back and
when the last episode was done and it didn't go to the playing next episode in 5 seconds and it went to you may like this. I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah,
what?
No conclusion.
Yeah.
I think it's an ongoing thing, like Andy said, but I didn't know there was more stuff coming. That'll be cool. I'd like to see her viewpoint because I do think she's like a con artist, but I think she was a child. I think these people made her a con artist.
Yeah, well, she just what kind of life have you even had? Been fucked.
Yeah, they enabled what weird that she could throw in there, and then they groomed her to so she was she did seem like an evil little fucker though.
She's now 33 living in Indiana.
I mean, wow. Well, that's a time jump.
Well, I mean, at one point they said that
she's 23. She might be 23 though.
No, it says she's legally 33 now.
Well, yes, because they re-aged.
Well, maybe she got re-aged back.
So she's actually 20 years old in real life.
That's what I think. Because that would.
But they aged her up, so legally she's, she was born in 1989.
So it's like 14 years younger. They aged her up 14 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
What they do with Harrison Ford in the new movie? They took him back 30.
It's all CGI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can put him at whatever age you want him to be. Not crazy that they can, make a whole whole scene, like a long scene of Harrison Ford as he's in his 30s or whatever. I don't get it. Well, they did a fucking Harold Ramis wasn't in the new Ghostbusters.
Right.
You can't believe that they can do this? The technology.
No, I mean, I can. No, what I don't want is that, you'll be watching a news thing and then it's like, oh, that's all, that's what's coming.
Don't worry, Andy. It's all pretty soon you'll be able to watch porn where they just CGI Tanya Harding right into it.
Oh man, I would read it.
You pick the face.
Artificial intelligence penthouse forum. Like, oh man, they always come up with the great scenarios, just kind of feed it what you're
I'm sure that's already been happening.
I'll have to subscribe. I always figured I would have one of those in me, but no, the one that we could write about.
I'm sure that you could write a couple.
I guess I got a few.
I don't think it would go in Penthouse.
Before this weekend, I thought your stories were bullshit. I never thought it would happen to me.
Recently, something's changed.
Guy?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. All right. Let's put a fucking bow on this.
We got
We've been talking about a lot of shit we've been watching.
Yeah, we got
so,
uh-huh.
you know,
Think anything else that's been good.
Chad, have you gotten through Succession yet?
I am working my way through. I'm not all the way done yet.
I rewatched that finale with Carrie Mitchell, and boy, it was just as good the second time. I think that's one of the best shows from start to finish that I've ever seen, for sure. It's top.
It will be one that I'll watch again. When
Absolutely. I can't
I've
wait
never
to
done
watch
that.
it again. I just like what we've been talking about. Like I want to watch it again. I want to like read about every episode when I watch it, and you know, listen to the podcasts about it. Like, I'm into it.
Yeah,
Well done.
it was 4 years, I think it was, right?
I like that Jeremy Strong, who played Kendall Roy, like they would do the after the episode kind of explanation things that were always fun. There was a couple of times they talked to Jeremy Strong, and he was like head shaved.
Oh, blonde too.
Well, yeah, he was in some theater play, but is the head shaved, and he just looked like, like a guy who'd been through some shit, like Britney Spears breakup style. And, the guy is such a method actor. He gets so deeply into his characters that it's like, you feel like that was Kendall's kind of, like a lot of shit went down. So he had to like flush it all out of him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't. Well, there was a part of the last episode where
we can't.
Extreme.
Don't tell Chad.
No, I'm just saying that there's like a cut they didn't use in the show that he talks about that was way kind of like, whoa, this dude's fucking, in his own element here.
It's just a lot. It was just a lot. It seemed like a natural thing for him to go through some stuff after it was over. But what a fucking good show, man.
Whereas Culkin probably, ended just like this. Never mind.
He was great too, man. He was so fucking great. I can't wait till Chad's seen it so that we can really fucking get into it. I had the best
episode.
I had it's not. I'm not even in a hurry. I didn't even mean to make it sound like that.
I wish
I had the best fucking hour-long conversation with my son about Succession. Like just talking about every angle of it. And, I read that this was that. And, like, oh God, it was so much fun. Like, that's a good show when you can do that kind of shit.
Do you remember that whenever we started this, you told me that what the deal was, right? You said that if for me to start this, when they started season 4, and you told me to start watching season 1. And when I finished season 4, we were going to do a special episode only dedicated to
on Patreon. I am fucking ready for that. I have been ready for this for a couple of weeks. So
that was why I started watching it. And remember, I told you when I started, I quit watching it because I was like, I can't watch it. It's fucking too hard. And then I pushed through and I was like, all right, fuck, I'm hooked.
All right, good. Well, when you do, we'll do that. I can't wait to do that. Fucking good.
I'm almost there.
That's right. Take your time, dude. Nothing but time. The summer's long. All right. Anything else?
I've been
watching shit. I've been watching DJs spin music while I paint the walls at the house here. So no real sit down TV.
Yeah. All right.
I'm started the Avatar movie, the new one. I know I'm gonna
water. The one
I read reviews for it.
So you're drinking water. You're watching movies about water. You're really into this water.
You're all about water now.
Yeah.
Glasses look like water.
Yep.
Is this water?
Sign.
Is this water right now?
I don't know if I mentioned before HBO Max See No Evil.
I haven't seen it.
It's a murder porn type thing. People get murdered. Every one of them is solved by security cameras.
Oh wow.
So you get to see how they solve the thing. One of them that I just watched, they see the murder on security camera, follow the dude backwards, see him go to the liquor store, get that one, see him go this way, watch him go in alleys, go, oh, the welding shop has a thing, get that one, fall. Anyway, they follow him all the way back to his fucking apartment.
Man.
You know, they follow him from the murder scene all the way back to his apartment. So they're pretty interesting.
Is it Speak No Evil?
See No Evil.
Did you see the just arrested? I can't think of his name. An actor who was on the show Arrested Development. But he was that part of the January 6th thing. And
he was also a big part of Mr. Show. One of my favorite sketches of Mr. Show is the Mount Everest story. And it's this guy. His name's Jay Johnston.
Yeah.
And he was on the Sarah Silverman show too. And he turned into a fucking Trump-loving MAGA freak. And he went storming into the Capitol with the rest of them. And he got arrested today. We should look at this story.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the Mount Everest sketch?
No.
Mr. Show?
I'll check it out.
God. It's so
he looks familiar to me, but I don't. I probably just saw him on Arrested Development some. I mean, I didn't watch that on a regular.
Yeah, he's been in some stuff.
He's on Bob's Burgers too.
Bob's Burgers. He's
banned from Bob's Burgers set.
Really? Yeah.
Well, that was the most recent thing he did. So that's when he was probably getting radicalized,
Here he is right here.
Yeah.
I don't know how they could
good pictures of him. There's some pictures of him where it's like, well, that's clearly him.
Yeah, I mean, if you had it's crazy. You can't get, you can get away with it for a while, but the cameras, they got nothing but, people breaking down all that shit. They want everybody
90 IMDb credits. They should be able to figure out it's you.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't go to it. Seems like it was overrated as far as, they didn't accomplish anything and they're all going to jail. Yeah. Maybe Sandro can play him in the
but he's really tall. That's the problem. So Sandro might, that might be a struggle.
Well, you could play him on the cartoon.
You could play him on the cartoon, yeah.
Just draw him shorter.
But if he's playing him on the cartoon, it doesn't matter that he sort of looks like him.
Yeah, Sandro's every guy with curly hair and a mustache now. I sent him the Tito.
So what happened to Jay Johnston?
He's in trouble.
He got arrested today for storming the Capitol. He
hasn't gone on trial yet.
They literally arrested him today.
Arrested him. Okay.
Charged him. But I think that there might be he might have a beefed up charge rather than just trespassing. I think he was.
Well, but he wasn't just there. He was fully engaged, right? He
was swinging down with a stolen police shield.
Yeah, he was getting into it.
I still think it's one of the greatest. I mean, not great for the country or whatever, but it's still one of the funniest things as a group that's ever happened. That many people did a crime together, got stirred up by a fucking douchebag.
It's definitely the funniest thing that's ever happened to America.
And they never once even believed the shit. They were just like, fuck it, we'll tell the Stooges, get them worked up, we'll try to steal this thing or whatever. But never once did he feel like it was taken from him. So it's like it's funny. He got all these fucking Stooges and he got them to go commit crimes on camera.
Yeah, it is funny because truly, I mean, you don't really know about Trump because he might just be crazy enough to have believed it, but nobody else around Trump really probably believed any of that was going to work, that they were going to be able to remain in office, but yet none of them stopped doing it. None of them wanted to be the one that said, hey, no.
Yeah, because they see what happens when someone is dissent.
What if when I stormed the field at one of those football games to climb up on the goalpost, if I would have just said, hey, everybody, I think we're taking this too far. But I can't think of any time I've been swept up in that kind of, definitely not in an angry mob or whatever, but just fired up, worked up that I would.
You usually follow a crowd, Andy. You won't be in the front, but you'll be tagging along, or you'll be.
But if there were,
a line forming over here, I'll get in it.
Yeah, you got. Well, you got $500 that one time because you got into a line at the bank. You didn't even know what it was about.
I
Yeah,
figured
that's
that was why Andy said, "I'm glad I didn't go" a few minutes
But if-
ago. I
but
was
if-
like, "Yeah, I'm glad you didn't go either."
Yeah, he would have been right behind Ashley Babbitt
were-
if
they
she got
were-
her fucking shot in the head. He had to go, oh shit!
I wish
Hey, was
Ashley
that
Babbitt's
Andy?
mother was right with her, right behind her. Good Lord. Yeah, but it takes a lot of momentum to do that shit. It's like a concert weekend and you got to have and I don't think, probably for the most part, most of them weren't even partying.
Right? No,
Like,
they were
that would be
serious.
like, this is so ridiculous. I'm going to do it. I got to do a couple bumps, man, or whatever. It's just, that's the only spirit that kind of thing would make sense in my world, is I'm here as a goof and just watching this shit and having fun. But people were there to fucking legitimately fucking throw down and shit.
And those weren't people that it's fun to be around. Like I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a wild thing. And if you knew in advance how far it was going to go, maybe you'd go just to kind of observe it a little bit. But those are not like the joke would wear thin after about 15
Everybody
minutes.
who yells
You'd
too
be
much
like,
at
all
their
right,
kid
all right.
games, assholes who get mad and yell at, it was a cross section of people you walk across the street to avoid, finding out what they got going.
And you'd be tempted to fucking, make, wisecracks and, say shit.
Oh,
And then,
yeah.
and that would not go well.
That at Cabela's?
That's not your crowd.
Like, there hasn't been a comedy video emerge from that footage yet, where somebody's in there cracking on them.
Yeah.
Cracking wise.
You drove all the way from Wyoming for this? But it'll make a comedy movie at some point. I'm sure it'll be,
Oh, like the Scream parodies?
Yeah. So, well, just like you take a small group.
I know what you did last winter.
Yeah.
The revolution or whatever. The idiot revolution. Look at that guy climbing. He's climbing. You can go around, bro. And he's like,
these are the pictures I love, is when people go, look, man, it was just a normal day of demonstrations at the Capitol. But this is not, how is this normal? So, it's just a complete oblivion.
That's the equivalent of when they let the caddies in the pool on Caddyshack.
Yeah.
It's not Bushwood Monday through. This is,
the lifeguard stand just goes tipping over into the water immediately.
You shave your ass. That was a random line that some chick had in there.
Yep. Old turd in the Capitol.
Yeah, that's what it was. The caddies invaded the pool for a day. Like, none of them belong there. Put your feet up.
There's charges.
I'm going to take a dump on old Nancy's desk. I'm not sure how the other revolution started, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't because somebody did number 2 on somebody's.
No, I'm picturing Trump standing there with a fucking baby Ruth.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not even a turd, you guys. It's all right.
Mar-a-Lago does seem like it's a Bushwood setup. And I know there's some patriots in there. It's just, it's funny because it's like you take, if you could just manipulate a bunch of Christians to do your bidding or whatever. And, it's not that hard. You just work,
right.
You could start a cult pretty easy. You just have to want to be around the people and then just figure out your angle and take over. It's, but fuck them. It'd be, I don't want to try to restructure a Christian. I'd rather work with animals. You put one raccoon in a church, you're gonna get way more out of it.
Yeah, more bang for your buck. The raccoon can be going through the church upstairs, frightening everyone. You're downstairs, going through the potluck, grabbing all the Jello squares,
putting a squirrel in the offering plate. Drug squirrel that'll wake up. Yeah, I've been thinking, I definitely need animal drugs to carry off any animal. It's not eco terrorism, but I'm working on a need for it.
Better
the-
hurry. They're restricting animal drugs real soon. I just found out my chickens are going to be harder to get over-the-counter chicken drugs.
Oh man, what's that
Next
going to
month.
do to the ketamine supply? I guess that should be restructured for human use only, and only on occasion.
Why are they restricting chicken drugs?
I think it's all like over-the-counter animal drugs. I don't know, some sort
it
of
part
new
of
thing.
the,
I just found out about it.
Well, the whole thing, we were over
1:1:15.
drugging, using too many
Antibiotics.
antibiotics in animals, and the stuff we were using them for was evolving too quickly and overcoming it, and we're just making it worse. So maybe it's something along those lines.
Chad could get black market drugs for them chickens.
Just get some Bisbee blow.
You just start over.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Chickens are cheap.
Start over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Andy knows all about that.
Mhm. Yeah, once you get past, it's emotional, but then at the end of it, you're like, it's a chicken. I bonded with them. My daughter painted their nails or whatever, but when their time was come to go to meet their maker up in heaven, I didn't shed a tear. No chickens.
Yeah, mine are getting pretty attached to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a space. Mine drove. They just, I couldn't hang with them, and you have an area to hang with them. So
Andy, you had him for what, 20 minutes?
no, I had them for,
The back seat of the car.
I had them for, that group died on impact of, or they died, upon my selecting them. Basically, that I was their
You were the Grim
Chicken
Reaper.
Auschwitz.
Yeah. And but then that was a bummer, and I felt bad because I was responsible for all their deaths, but I thought it's it's a dozen eggs that just went a little further, and now they're dead, or it was 6 of them. So I framed it up
You
all right.
scrambled those little baby chickens. That's all you did.
It's a late-term omelet.
when we had the 4, those ladies had a pretty cool, for them, life was great. For me, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't, it's like, I don't like people don't follow me. Don't stand so close.
But don't follow you.
But
You purchased them.
I know, but
you chose them.
I didn't need them to form a line. I wasn't trying to declare I was the chicken leader or alpha chicken or a cock or anything, but they would follow me. So every time I would go, it's like 4 little fucking chickens follow me. And I don't know, it sounds fun, but I didn't have video of it or anything. They just followed me around close, and I would always turn around and go, "You need anything?"
But Andy, you're also the one who feeds them.
Yeah, you're their
Yeah,
mother.
They've got
They're
all
not
these signals to follow you.
They're not staying at your Airbnb.
I didn't realize that.
Offering them a bottle of water and a washcloth.
Yeah, I kind of groomed them, I guess. And I guess I wasn't ready to have a posse. And then the problem was they needed some security. They needed, basically, I felt like I was the pimp. I'd take their eggs whenever they have one, and they didn't, but I would have to put them in at night and then secure them. They would get fucking, eaten. And that's when it fell apart. One of them got fucked up. And it's like, all right, these guys are, they're not that, they're not a fun hang. But when I see it done right, they're fucking wonderful. I like their sounds and everything. They're very comforting noise and stuff. But when you're trying to get some yard work done,
they got a lot of area there, Chad.
That's
a big
nice.
area.
Yeah, they've
That's
got
what
a pretty
chicken
big.
needs.
It's
Good for you.
my son converted the old goat pen into a chicken coop.
I was
Yeah.
listening to
the
Chad's.
size of the fence and did a whole bunch of work and converted
Good
it to a
job.
I
chicken
was
pen.
listening to your chickens in the bathtub today. I just set it
Nice.
on and hear the birds chirping, and it's very peaceful.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
I've
could
been
listen to
Twitch
that.
streaming the chickens in the morning.
Oh, that's nice.
How are you keeping the coyotes out?
It's got a 6 foot, or I mean, an 8 foot fence on it, which is inside my 4 foot fence, which is surrounded by 1 acre, other 1 acre neighbors. So we don't have a ton of coyotes right in here.
All right.
So,
Yeah, I've been noticing them around here on the end of Black Knob and stuff lately. This is a residential area.
That's a weird find, Chaille.
What's that?
A Raccoon Presbyterian Church? Is that?
Yep.
I wonder if other people do that.
So many in this one town that they decided to call the church Raccoon.
But of course, other people do it because there it is. You didn't do it.
I know. I mean, you know, that'd be. You know, it's like nowadays people take shit too seriously, and a lot of them are armed. So if I were to just chuck a couple of raccoons into a Baptist church or whatever, I don't think it would get written up in the paper as a hijink. It would, I think, say it's like, you know, hate crime or something.
That would be fun.
Yeah, if you, I mean, you know, I like the way people react when there's an animal loose. Everybody freaks the fuck out, and it's just the animal's just trying to get out of Costco or whatever. You know,
yeah, because someone keeps dropping them off at the dumpster in the back.
Right. Well, yeah,
pushing him in the back door.
This is your new life now.
Costco's opening in 10 minutes. I guess it's where we break company. Yeah, I mean, I assume I probably have them around here. I could catch one and go back into the business.
Animal terrorism.
I could stream it though. Well, no, you don't stream a crime.
Well, no, I mean that's kind of a TikTok thing. I keep seeing on Reddit. I keep seeing all these TikTokers get their, you know, instant karma when they pull some kind of bullshit prank and then they get jacked.
Yeah.
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 So I mean, but they're making tons of money on TikTok, you know, doing these dumb pranks. So you could throw a raccoon into a Baptist church. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I'd go probably Presbyterian, like Stein says.
Well, they're raccoon friendly
Baptist,
at the Presby's.
I was just doing what the sign said, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I came here last week and there wasn't one raccoon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save all the raccoons I can, and this is the only place that'll attribute Christianity to the process.
Yeah. This raccoon is filled with the spirit of the devil.
They are. I mean, you know, if you hung around them or whatever, and you had a situation where you could hang with raccoons and they're and we're all equal, they're all right. But they're usually, you know, at the disadvantage of they're stealing from you or endangering other animals, or whatever. But they're not bad. I just fucking, you know, I had to move them at the time. I couldn't live with them.
Understandable. All right, that's it then. I think the recommendation is Chad's Twitch stream in the morning. Watch some chickens living their best fucking life. Get into that.
Are they laying chickens, or are those going to be laying than eating?
Yeah, no, they're laying chickens, and some of them right now they have. I just posted a picture on my Twitter. There's a little tiny rooster and some great big laying hens, and they had some baby chicks together. So there's some little chicks running around in there right now.
And do you have chicken after hours?
So
it's like put on a little jazz music and the
little red light,
little rooster
light going.
That rooster's humping them hens every goddamn time I look out there.
Ka-ching, man, right on.
And I know that a bunch of there's probably at least a couple of those new tiny rooster birds that
you're like the Duggars religion where you're just like just fuck and make more.
Oh man, I gotta get rid of a bunch of them.
Yeah, but that's the same thing the Duggars say.
Chicken
get rid of the roosters. It's like I'm like good, like I'm like China.
Yeah,
you could get all woke and put two roosters together and write a story about how they love each other and just want to be two roosters.
No, go woke, go broke. Man.
Yeah, that's true.
We want Chad to You know, this is a profitable thing right now for him. We don't want
We'll
to.
see how
We don't want him to
out.
be boycotted by the right.
Yeah. No, the right
We'll
dollar
see.
spent just fine.
There's only about 10 of us that hang out and chat in the Twitch stream,
Well,
so
yeah, well, then-
it's all right.
Even so, then that means you can't afford to lose anybody. We
Yeah,
don't be
yeah.
divisive here.
Yeah. Yeah. Just for, I don't know how the subs and all that shit works but just for, you know, like I'd listen to, I won't say any names or whatever, but just like things that just kind of news or whatever, or shit in the morning. And it kind of gets me, you know, it just immediately you're thinking about that shit. Chad's chickens. It's not disrupting your thought process, and they're pretty
Right.
fucking
Calming.
calming.
Well, it's
Very
definitely cool
calm.
for background because it also not only do you hear the chickens just pecking around and just kind of running around, but there's a lot of wild birds in the morning
Doves.
background sound, and you get doves, quail, just different bird sounds
All right.
early in the morning. So it's a very cool, peaceful sounding.
Hi. Welcome to
stream. So,
Bird Sounds with
Yeah.
Chad. I like it. All right.
New direction I'm going.
Subscribe. Dude, well done. You know, we all find our bliss. Hopefully. All right, you guys. Thanks for being out there. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys were able to jump on and do this real quick too. So I appreciate you guys for doing it. And thank you guys for being out there. If you haven't joined our Patreon yet, please do that. I don't know if you know this, but we're pretty much going to do a whole episode on Patreon dedicated to Succession. So that, you know, get HBO and then get on the Patreon so you can do both.
Cut
Succession.
Paramount.
We'll have a week notice in advance
Yeah.
so that we can
It's coming. It's
phone
coming.
up on some of the old ones.
We're gonna go deep. So and our Patreons, it's $5 a month, you know, $60 for the whole year. That's nothing. And we'd love you for it. If you're on Patreon, you get some special stuff and we'll talk to you a little bit over there. And if not, if you're just on YouTube, that's fine too. Like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you being out there so that we can keep doing this because we love it. We'll see you next time. Later.